you guys. All right. I had a couple minutes in between errands that I'm running here today, but I wanted to tell you guys when you get on here, I'm gonna give this just a couple seconds to populate. I'm wearing my AirPods, so tell me if you can hear me. I hope that you can. So an awesome thing happened yesterday. Hi, Don. Don's in the house. All right, there you guys are getting in here. When you get in here, let me know where you're coming from. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how is it living where you are? 10 being it's completely free. I don't feel like we're being bossed around by our horrible governors or these rogue school boards or these crazy maskers or any of it. And 1 being, when do I get to move to Florida? That's what I'd really like to know. So, can you guys hear me okay? Hey, Bethany. Hi, you guys. Hey, Leanne. How's it going? All right, good. So, Joanne's going to a school board meeting. So, last night, thank you, Ruth. So, last night, I went to a school board meeting in on Alaska. So, this little town in Washington State, about an hour and a half north of me, they invited me to come to the school board meeting and listen to their parents testifying before the school board. So, the school board said, you can come. We're considering whether or not we're going to defy King Inslee, the governor of Washington State, the horrible governor of Washington State, who is now saying that teachers and staff are going to be required to get the COVID-19 vaccine, that students are required to wear masks and social distance. And so the parents came out last night and they showed up in droves in this little tiny town. And I would say it was 90% who said, no, we don't want the masks. There were students saying that the kids were struggling with suicidal thoughts, that they have been injured, many of them emotionally injured, mentally injured. They're falling behind academically. And of course, we had, representatives from the corrupt teachers union saying, no, please don't pull the funding from our schools because, the students need the education. No, they don't. No, they don't. This garbage education that we're offering our children, this so-called education, we're not even teaching our kids reading, writing, and arithmetic anymore. You want to go into the schools in Oregon. In Oregon, they've decided you don't even need to be proficient to graduate. We don't care if you know reading or writing or math, but we do care that you are educated in critical race theory. So the other thing that they were talking about yesterday evening, and I was so encouraged, you guys, blown away. Parents are coming out and they are fighting mad and they're not going to take it anymore. And that's what has to happen. Last night, I heard teachers and school staff members tell the school board they're going to quit. They will quit their jobs and live in a trailer before they're forced to take a vaccine. And then we had one guy get up there, a teacher, obviously a part of the teachers union, and try to say that we have been giving vaccines, have been required for a long, long time in this country. He said, when you join the military, you have to get the MMR and you have to make sure you got your polio vaccination, whatever. And I'm like, dude, what universe do you live in? This is like comparing apples to oranges. Nobody whose kids are in the school, no teacher, no school administrator, they didn't sign up for the Rona vaccine, for a mandatory vaccine. This is not even the same thing at all. And so then we moved on to the issue of critical race theory. And I got up at the school board meeting and I said, critical race theory, born in 1989, it's 32 years old now, which means it's an adult. And now it's in our schools. It's a cancer that started in our universities. It has metastasized in our high schools and now in our grade schools. This is teaching children to hate each other based on the color of their skin. It is turning our children against each other, against the country. They're teaching our children that they can't help that they're racist. It's just the color of your skin. If you're white, I'm sorry, you're a racist. And so we need to re-educate you and reintroduce you to polite society. This is garbage. It's garbage on 100 levels. Then this ridiculous student who graduated from the public school there and has gone on to college got up and he said he spent 2 years in communist China. You know what his takeaway was? He said, in communist China, guess what they do? They ban things. They ban things. He said, I am ashamed that you guys would want to ban critical race theory. That's just like communism. And this is how our students feel today. basic misunderstanding of communism, basic misunderstanding of why we do and don't teach things to our children. You want to teach your kids about racism? Great. You want to teach them that they are racist? No, no, we're not doing that. And so this ridiculous kid, he thinks he can get up there and make everybody feel bad because he spent 2 years in communist China, and this is exactly how the Chinese government treats its own people. Garbage! I call BS. I call BS. So this is what needs to happen. So after that meeting, and then they had a kid get up there, a student who didn't want to come, so she was in on the phone because I don't know, maybe the Rona would get her. So a student with a mask on went up to the front, and this girl who said she was black. I mean, I don't know because I couldn't see her. She was on the phone. Said that she had been basically tortured in this little tiny school district, and that they had been burning crosses in her front yard. Listen, you guys, I live here. If they were burning crosses in the front yards of black students, of African Americans, it would be front page news in the Seattle Times. We don't put up with racism in this neck of the woods. Never have, never will. And if there are pockets of places in our schools that have racist students in it, the students will take care of those other students because we don't do racism. And we don't need a critical race theory to come in here and tell us otherwise. And these ridiculous kids who, I'm so sorry, you guys, but you've been indoctrinated and brainwashed, and it's sad. It's sad. But I'm not, Heidi St. John ain't gonna play no more. So here's the best part about this. So after the school board meeting, when 90% of the parents are like, heck no, we're not doing this anymore, and the teachers are like, we're not coming back. So let us know how you guys do when you're understaffed, because the teachers are not going to be forced to get a vaccine for a virus with a 99.98% survival rate. Let us know how that goes for you. This is amazing, you guys. Rise up. That's what needs to happen. Like I said the other day, you need to withdraw your kids from the school system. Then they're going to start going, oh my goodness, we're losing students. Oh, for the love, we're losing teachers. Oh, for goodness sake, we don't have firefighters anymore. And we're losing half of our police force, and the nurses won't come back to work because they're forcing us against our will to get a virus or a vaccine that's clearly not working. It's amazing. So when the school board meeting is over, the parents, dozens and dozens and dozens of them, went down the street to a local park and they set up a microphone and they came up with a plan. And here's the plan. The plan is we're withdrawing our kids from your corrupt, stupid school, and we're going to figure this out on our own. And so I was able to explain to them, how do you withdraw your child from school? Here's this thing called the letter of intent. You don't ask the school district how to withdraw your child. You go to homeschooling organizations and they'll tell you how, because what's happening in the schools, and I'm watching this over and over again, they're asking parents for information that the parents are not required to give by law. So don't depend on your school system to tell you how to withdraw your child. This should send shockwaves up the heart of school administrators and superintendents who don't have the backbone to stand up for their teachers and stand up for their students. You guys, when are we going to start talking about the rise in staph infections and impetigo in our students because they're wearing those dirty face diapers all day long? Face diapers do not stop viruses. They trap and stop bacteria. The viruses are too small. They go right through the mask, around the mask, under the mask, on the side of the mask, all prepositions, by the way. And these are things you can teach your children when you're homeschooling them. The bacteria that is trapped in these masks is making our kids sick. We're seeing a rise in sinus infections, staph infections. I'm hearing stories of kids who are coming down with croup because they're covering their face with this ridiculous face diaper all day long. It's stupid and it doesn't work. And you guys need to stand up against it and say, no more. I'm pulling my kids out of the schools. And I'm telling you what, they will have to listen. They will have to listen. You guys can do this. Stand up for your children, because I'm telling you what, the teachers aren't going to do it. The National Educators Association's not going to do it. The corrupt governors are not going to do it. They're teaching our children to be subservient to the government by wearing a mask all day long and social distancing. And the fact that we've been doing this now for 17 months and it still isn't working, no, we're not doing it anymore. And so I'm very, very proud of the parents in Onalaska, Washington last night for standing up for their students, standing up for their rights, telling the school board you can take your mask mandate and put it where the sun don't shine, because we're not going to do it anymore. We're going to figure this thing out. This is the United States of America, land of the free, home of the brave, and it won't be free much longer unless you guys start getting brave and taking back the nation. Education is ground zero for the fight for freedom in this country. They're indoctrinating your children. They're teaching them to hate each other, to hate the country. They're teaching them that their parents are stupid. And now we're going to graduate our kids, and they aren't going to have the skills that they need to live productive lives out in the United States, and to continue to have America at the front of innovation and ideas. This is where we should be. And so this is madness. And so I'm just going to encourage you, take your children out of these schools and stop letting them bully you. You guys can homeschool your children. You can absolutely do it. Get involved in your local state homeschool organizations. Check out hslda.org for information on the law for homeschooling in each one of your states. I'm telling you what, your worst day homeschooling your kids is going to be better than their best day in the public indoctrination centers known as government schools in this nation. And so kudos to the parents who are getting off the bench and getting onto the battlefield. Kudos to the parents in Onalaska, Washington last night. I was so proud to be there and so proud to help you guys figure out how to pull your kids out of these schools. This is part of the reason why I'm running for Congress. I don't understand why our representatives are not on the floor of the House of Representatives, except for Nancy Pelosi's always telling them Rona's going to get them, and I got to wear a face diaper. Uh, we got to start talking about this stuff. We got to start saying school choice, past time for school choice. When your schools are garbage like this, pull them out. The money should follow the child. That's the only thing these parents are going to hear. And so I'm going to encourage you guys, get active. You can't be quiet. The only thing that the radical left needs to finish the destruction of our way of life here is for people like you and me to say nothing. Your silence is a gift to these people, and that's all they need. Can you guys help me in my run for Congress? The fight here is absolutely as hot as I have ever seen it. Please support my run for Congress. Heidi St. John for Congress.com. I am just a regular mom, like a whole bunch of you guys watching, a regular parent who is absolutely done with watching my country get hijacked by people that hate the country and want me to hate my neighbor based on the color of his skin. No, we're not taking it anymore, you guys. Get off the bench, get onto the battlefield. Let me know what's happening in your school district and what you guys are doing to take back your country. Americans now, because of the wicked Biden administration and the weak leadership of this ridiculous administration, we are now leading from behind again. You're going to start seeing suffering all over the world increase because America is not leading from the front anymore. And we have a man in the White House who clearly has some sort of mental disorder and is one of the worst. I think he will go down as probably the worst president in the history of the United States. It is up to the American people right now to rise up, to stand up, to run for office, to stop letting the left hijack your school boards and your library boards and your city councils. Run, run, run for office. Get involved, you guys. This is our country. And I don't know about you, but I think it's worth fighting for. So I hope you guys will join me, Heidi St. John for Congress. And congratulations again to the awesome parents and the patriots in the little town of Onalaska, Washington. You guys, this is going to be the shot heard around the world. We're going to take this country back one school system, one school district at a time. It's time. I'm proud of you guys. Stay in the fight. Stay in the fight, you guys. Heidi St. John for Congress.com. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you back here again really soon.